Hi, pool guy. I met you a few years ago when you were working on a friend's pool in Fenton. Whoever put the liner in my pool did a terrible job, and eventually I'd like to get it replaced. However, I want to rip out the pool and build a new custom pool in the next 2 years, so if I can make this liner work, I'd like to. Last year before I opened the pool, the liner wasn't very tight in the corners. Once it was filled up, it looked okay. It definitely not right, but it wasn't bad besides the wrinkles and misalignment. I would say the liner was made a touch small for the pool. This year I had to drain a decent amount of water to replace the light bulb. After doing that, the liner seems really baggy with lots of air behind it. Do you suggest I vacuum it back tight to the walls before filling, or when I fill it back up, will everything work back into its place?
Number one, this doesn't sound like a new liner. I don't know how old this particular liner is. If it's 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, I would at least try to put a vacuum behind it and draw that liner as tight as possible. You could slowly start filling it and so work its way back, but it's going to be stiff. It's not going to want to flex very much. Recommendation would certainly be vacuum it back into place and then fill it slowly. Don't get a truckload of water and try to fill it instantly, because if it's got some years on it, and looking at these pictures, I don't know how long it's been sitting that empty, but what will happen is if you try to fill it too quickly, it's going to burst in the corners, because if they were tight already, now if it's been sitting dry for a little bit there, it's going to take a long time for them to stretch back into place, or they're going to burst. So if you want to try to get a few more years out of it, then your best bet is going to be absolutely put a vacuum behind it and then absolutely fill it slowly versus quickly, which seems kind of counterintuitive because we talk about wanting to put water in the pool as fast as possible. In most cases, yes. If you could put warm water in it, if you had a water truck that had 85-degree water in it, I would say you could put it in quickly. But if you got a water truck, the average water truck temperature right now is about 60-degree water, that liner is going to want to keep to shrink and keep holding itself tight, and you run the risk of tearing it.